Hello and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zaks Traders Cafe. It's obviously Thursday, the 31st of October. Starting off with the FTSE 100, where we're down to nearly 0.75%, which I suppose means that we've lost tens of billions of pounds of value on leading UK stocks. Also, maybe a slight sense of relief that the budget wasn't as bad as expected, but that is kind of relief that you get when the doctor tells you you've got 6 months to live rather than just 3 months. In terms of the charting, we can see that we've got this falling trend channel there, the red one, which I've kept in place just in case the market pulled the rug from under investors. We broke that line of support there for 82.30 a couple of days ago. The risk then was a move down to at least the 200-day line, now at 80.76, which we've been rather close to, 80.94 the low. Worst case is that we have to go down to the floor of that channel, 79.80, before the pain is over. We did have basically a double RSI failure, or maybe you could argue even triple RSI failure at neutral 50 before the budget, so that did actually warn us that we were potentially going down, and that worked. In terms of the upside, need to see an end of day close really back above 81.60 to cancel the latest rather bearish look to the UK index. Moving on to the DAX, which I presume is in a slightly happier place, but not much. Here we had a gap down yesterday, gapping down though towards the 50-day line there, and October support at 19,000. So we're obviously relatively much better here than the FTSE 100. The 200-day line here is way down around 1,000 points. Ideally, there's no end-of-day close back below 19,000 and below the 50-day line, and we can then head up to the 19,500 plus area for the DAX. On to the Dow, and here, obviously lots of jiggery pokery ahead of next week's election result, and here, similar to the DAX there, really support likely to come in at the 50-day moving average, 41,800, and we've also had an RSI failure at neutral 50s. That suggests we will touch that 50-day line, however, briefly. Worst case scenario at the moment is probably a move down to 41,500 or so, which was basically the old July resistance and early August resistance for this market. Moving on to the Bitcoin situation, and here we had a move towards the record highs, and not far off our target there at 75,000, a June resistance line projection. Decent consolidation at the moment. While we're on the right side of 70,000, we should have 75,000 at least in the bag. Worst case at the moment, I suppose, would be back down to 68,000, but not really looking for much lower than that, even though normally one would have to factor in a move down to the 50-day line, which in this case is at 65,000. On to gold, and here trying to make it to the top of the channel. We were looking for the top of the channel there, now at 28.40 by the end of next month. We're previously hoping for 2800 by the end of this month, which I suppose has just about been done. So very exciting in terms of the gold position there. Previous resistance there, 27.85 and 27.65 rather, and above that looking for 28.40 by the end of next month. But this is a near vertical move there on gold, which is very impressive. Worth looking at pound dollar again today, given that we're in the aftermath of the budget, and holding at the floor of that rising trend channel from March, which I suppose is some comfort, to 129.30, the level there. Above that, looking for the 50-day line there, up to 131.30. I suppose, given the budget, the way the budget's been, it means that interest rates may be higher for a bit longer on that, so strengthening the pound. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with Avacta, which is disappointing to say the least. Here we've got this falling trend channel, effectively had a dead cross there last week, and you can see multiple days of red candles after the gravestone doji, as you call that, on the 24th. But basically what we don't want to see here is an end of day close back below the floor of the gap there at 52 pence, because otherwise we might have the risk of a move yet again down to the 40 pence area. So watch that 52 pence level. On to altitude, which is not quite so followed, I presume, but here W-shaped reversal, end of day close above 34 pence, so we'll be looking at the mid-40s by the end of next month or even sooner. But that looks still sort of interesting V-shaped turnaround there for that situation. Moving on to Alchemy, which is shaping up quite nicely after the possibility that it might finally get its money. Mid-move consolidation here, which is normally a very strong signal. Support there towards 76 pence, and above that, looking for £1.20 by the end of next month. We've already had our initial target there at £1, which we came close to last week, but looking for £1.20 while we're above 76 pence. So it looks as though the company might even get its money. Next up is Cordell, and here looking for, well, we were already looking for the 6.5 pence area, and above that now looking for the upper parallel of that particular target. That is the top of a rising trend channel from early 2023, heading for 9 pence, which hopefully we'll get by the end of next month. Very strong pattern there with the sideways consolidation and then gaps higher. Very, very impressive indeed. That shows that we are in a significant re-rate for the shares, and 9 pence probably the minimum we're looking for while we're above 6.5 pence. Moving on to the stock of the month again, which is Energypathways, and here actually hit our final near-term resistance line there. That was just shy of 12 pence, 11.9 pence. Still looking for upside here while we're above basically 9.6 pence, the old resistance line there, or the second last resistance line. Best case is up to 13 pence by the end of next month, or hopefully a bit sooner. Obviously, we've been flagged that something exciting is happening on November the 5th. Moving on to Intercede, and here couldn't resist this one really. Rising trend channel, very steady performer here, and little bull flag there either side of the 50-day moving average at £1.91. Above that, looking for up to £2.34 at the top of the channel by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay on the right side of £1.80, the mid-October resistance, while we get to the 240 area. KP2 is next, otherwise known as Potash, another beautiful rising trend channel here, and you wonder why people don't just trade stocks which have this kind of pattern. Top of the channel here, heading for 4.4 pence by the end of next month, while we're above recent support at 2.8, and don't really expect this stock to go back below 3 pence after today's unfilled gap to the upside. On to MicroSalt, where there was the false flag RNS on the 18th of October. I'm not sure why we have these cooling RNSs. Let the market decide. The trendline break there came after, just on that day. And then we had a consolidation after the false flag, as I said. Unfilled gap to the upside on the, basically yesterday. And we were looking for at least the 200-day moving average at 75 pence, which we've got. And then looking for that line of resistance there from August, which is basically at 82 pence, which we've just hit right on the nose. So we're very pleased with the homework there on that particular stock. Next level up, obviously, the £1 area, which is post-June resistance for the shares. And hopefully, while there's no end-of-day close, back below 75 pence. That is where we're going by the end of next month or even sooner. Another interesting situation is Proton Motor. And here it looks like we've built our base. So we had a gap down, a big back gap down back in August. We're back above the 50-day line now, and above the 50-day moving average at 0.8 pence, looking for the shares to fill the gap up to basically 1.5 pence by the end of next month or even sooner. Looks like it could be quite a strong turnaround, especially with the bullish divergence going into it last month. Next stock is Upland Resources, where there was a Oak Securities research note on the company. I noted that there wasn't a target, so I provided one, which it was a technical one, and it was 0.5 pence. I think we've just shy of that at the moment, but above the second target here at 0.46, we are looking for up to now 0.65 by the end of next month. So above 0.46, and that top of that price channel there from July, looking for 0.65 by the end of November. On to the last three. First one is Rockfall Therapeutics, where it's another win with the shares hitting that initial target there at 5.4 pence. Above that, looking for, on an end-of-day close basis, looking for up to 8 pence plus by the end of next month. That rising 50-day line and the bear trap rebound from below it in the last couple of sessions looking very strong indeed. Moving along to Tekcapital, which is obviously a winner with MicroSalt and other stocks, I suppose. Here we've got the shares breaking the 200-day moving average at 8.8 pence for the second time, and hopefully this time we'll stay above it, above 8.8 pence. Looking for the shares to hit 13 pence by the end of next month, or obviously much sooner. What's also interesting is that we've got the 200-day line now rising, if you look very closely, very, very closely. And that means we're in the run-up to a golden cross, and the run-up to a golden cross tends to be the strongest part of the cycle. So it looks as though Tekcapital is finally back and will go up and stay up. Finish off with Upland, which is another lap of honor. Here you can see that we were looking for the shares to break higher with a rising 50-day line and the consolidation above it, plus the RSI rebound above neutral 50. So the shares have delivered 18% of upside today, looking for 1.6 pence or so, hopefully by the end of today or tomorrow. You can see that resistance on the way down was around the 1.6 pence area, so I think that's the minimum on the upside. Maximum on the upside would be back up to 2.5 pence, which was the old July low, and the 200-day moving average. Maybe we get that by the end of next month if we behave ourselves and if the shares remain above recent broken resistance of 1.3 pence. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.